Welcome to this new Flight Simulator update movie. In this movie, we're gonna look at what's included in the latest beta version for Sim update number 13, which is scheduled to be released late September. So, first of all, the version will be updated to version 1.34.11.0. So, before jumping into the details, make sure that if you're testing this beta build, that you're moving things out of the community folder if you're experiencing any issues prior to reporting issues, and then if you do have a certain, I would say, community item which has an issue, then I would say report it back to the users or to the developers. So first of all, the general bug fixes. So there is a fix which uninstalled the standard content, which reinstalled the content which was uninstalled by yourself. That would now be automatically installed again, uh, and that's okay. I would say this looks like that if you installed something or if you removed something and then installed this update, that it would automatically reinstall it. That's how I read it. So that's now being fixed. Also, several crashes fixed across the title. They added the logbook compression to fix an issue where the logbook stopped recording flights after reaching 16 megabyte limit, as well as several localization improvements, which means that they changed the languages, typo errors, etc. Then the dark line that appears on the horizon in some situations is now less visible. And then one of the most important, I would say, kind of fixes or workarounds which they implemented has to do with the white dot, right? So if you use the joystick, then you sometimes would see that white dot in the screen. Maybe you've seen it in some of my videos. So there's now a functionality which you can find in the options, general options, accessibility menu, where you can say show white dot cursor. The default option is switch on. You can switch it off if you don't want to have it. Because if you're moving the camera, that will still, I'd say, show that white dot with the option on, but with off, of course, won't show it anymore. Then you've got another option which says use cursor for all joysticks, which the default is off. And now you can set it to on, which will allow you the joysticks to control the cursor. If set to off, this will be the same behavior as before AAU number 2. So depends on what you want to do. Currently, this only works for the PC version, not in the Xbox version. The Xbox version will get that fixed later on, as far as I understood. So then you've got the glass cockpits, the Garmin G3000 and 5000. There's a fix for the incorrect unit conversions that would cause the MFD navigation data bar ISA field to display incorrect values in Fahrenheit. And there's also a fix where the FOB sync instructions would still appear on the GTC weight and fuel page if the page was opened after FOB was already set. Last one are multiple issues that could cause the GTC VNAV page in the flight plan text inset not displaying the correct active VNAV waypoint. And that's important, right? Then the G1000 NXI, if we look at the descriptions, there's, I would say, again, a correlation, but that makes sense because they're using the same code in some areas. The first item, we already discussed it. And then there's the next one, which fixed the issue where the PFD was not showing the VNAV target altitude. Not exactly the same as the last one, but it looks like there's a strong correlation. Then there was a fix for the issue with waypoint alert or flashing after landing or passing DTOs. And then there are several issues being fixed, like the active VNAV waypoint, the VSR and VDEV fields on the MFD flight plan not display the correct values. So mainly due to the, I would say, issues fixed in the VNAV space. Then going to the airports, there are two fixes for the general airports, the Diamond DV20, the GNS screen made interactable, as well as the Captain GNS screen made interactable. I think they're using the same navigation system, so makes sense, right? Then the Boeing, the 787 and 747, there are some specific fixes which can be recognized easily by these ones in brackets, and there are generic ones. We start with the generic ones. The FMC, the climb thrust limit is now retained in cruise and selected when climbing. Then the other FMC change is the selecting a new approach will While flying, an approach procedure should no longer break the approach speeds in the new approach. That's good. The CDU, clearing a CDU message now clears it on all CDUs, right? So previously when you cleared the message, it would still appear on the other one, but now they fixed it so it will be synced. As well as they fixed an issue where the landing altitude message appears when in auto mode. For the 747, there are two fixes for the autopilot. One of them is the bank angle limit, uh, used while in heading select mode. Now properly follows the selected bank angle limit selected on the MCP, right? That's, I would say, the angle the aircraft can make maximum when it's, I would say, turning left or right. And there's also another fix where the auto bank limit to be max or 25 instead of 30. So if you set it to auto, then it's max to 25 instead to 30, which means that the angle degree is decreased. Then for the 787, there are three fixes. Two of them are for the electronic flight bag, which has been introduced in this beta build, or the previous beta build. Sorry. First of them is the fixed input from operating system keyboards that did not work always. And the wind field on takeoff ref page is now copied to the EFB when initializing the EFB takeoff page. So that's good, right? So they, I would say, added some new functionality which was missing. Last one is they fixed an issue where the high cabin out mode would appear in the wrong conditions. Okay, it's good. Going to the DNR TBM or the DARE TBM 930, fixed an issue where the IS-NG gauge could report slight inaccurate values. And for virtual reality, if you're the lucky one, then they fixed an issue that could cause the touch-enabled glass cockpit not to work in VR mode. Other than that, there are some SDK fixes, but as mentioned already in my videos, we're not going to them because this is really focused to, I would say, the aircraft and sim itself. So again, I would say a nice list of I would say additions which they fixed. Likely the list is much longer, right, than this. But it's good to see that they are, I would say, kind of open and releasing this release notes, so we can all say make sure that the content which is provided back is also, I would say, taken into consideration and being fixed. So if you want to participate, then have a look at my channel because there's a video about how you can join the beta. If you already are in the beta, then you already should have this update if you started Flight Simulator yesterday evening, EMEA time, or today during EMEA time, or of course doing the other time zones. So here ends this video where we looked at the latest release notes of Sim Update number 13 beta, which is scheduled to be released eventually, the final version in September. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.